I'm very excited to, in just a moment, turn over our program to the Social Action Committee, who has been for several months planning this weekend to be a weekend of focusing on the aspect of social action, social justice in the world, that is welcoming refugees. This particular portion of that is thinking about welcoming refugees in a very practical and personal and immediate kind of way, which is to hear from the experience of refugees who had to move to our country in the last decades, in the last few years, and that is tremendous and very important. But we do so in a broader context of the fact that we are about to enter into the holiday of Passover just 1 week from tonight, and the holiday of Passover is the foundational story of the Jewish people, which reminds us that we have a responsibility every year, every day, every moment to see ourselves as if we personally left Egypt, as if we personally were refugees, as if we personally had to leave the place that was our home for 400 years and to move to another place with faith that God and that we would show each other the way, with faith that there would be a home for us in that new place. The Passover Seder reminds us the story of Passover as a foundational story of the Jewish people, reminds us to be kind to the stranger, to welcome the stranger because we were strangers, because we understand the experience of what it means to be strangers. And indeed, when you think about Jewish history broadly, again and again and again, the Jewish people has been a people that has been forced to emigrate or has chosen to emigrate from one place to another because of persecution, because of bigotry, because of for economic success, because for many, many reasons. And the Jewish people is a wandering people, a people that has moved from place to place throughout the generations. And so over and over, not just on Passover, but in all of Jewish history, we are able to reflect on what it means to, in fact, see ourselves as people who wander, as people who are in some way sort of always unmoored from the place that we are. Well, I want to thank our Social Action Committee, and especially Stephen Schechter, the chair of the Social Action Committee, and the team that worked on this program, which is a whole weekend of Shabbat of events tonight and tomorrow, and that's Edith Kleiman and Ricky Shapiro, and to thank Mishka for moderating and hosting this portion of it. And I would also like to announce and contextualize this program as actually being a beginning, not an ending, but a beginning of a congregational approach to the topic of welcoming refugees in Schenectady, in the capital region. This is it is the beginning of an educational process and an action process where our congregation is getting more invested and involved in this particular issue. And that's going to manifest itself in many different ways. But one way, which was just decided at the Adult Education Committee meeting this past Tuesday night, is that the one of our themes for this coming year of educational programming will be immigration and refugees, thinking about the Jewish people as a nation of immigrants, as a nation who has immigrated, a wandering nation, a nation that is perpetually refugees, and also to think about the practical ways that the tradition requires our experience must obligate us towards certain actions, and that obligation, which is deeply rooted in our tradition, will be one of the things that we study, with the hope that that study over the course of the next year will also spur us to action. Because what is Torah for, if not to lead us also toward Ma'asim Tovim? Torah, the instruction, our learning, our approach to Jewish texts is supposed to guide us toward a better life, toward good action, toward righteous acts of loving kindness that bring us toward a more redeemed world. And so it is really a pleasure for me to be able to introduce and welcome you, our speakers this evening. And I'm not gonna to go into your bios or anything, because that's Mishka's gonna do that. But I wanted to say I really welcome you, and I'm so grateful that you agreed to be present with us this evening and to be able to share your stories with us. And my hope is that this is just one step on a larger journey that we are all taking together to be more loving and more compassionate, and to really take in the lesson of Passover, which is to know that we have a shared humanity, and that shared humanity requires of us obligations. So with that, I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. I look forward also to joining with you tomorrow at our Shacharit service, which we will also have the director of RISE, who is going to be there with us. And without further ado, I introduce Mishka. Mishka Luft is our moderator this evening, serves on the Adult Education Committee in the capacity of guiding the congregation's Sadie Schneider Rosh Chodesh Learning Group, and is a great educator and teacher in her own right. And we are thrilled that she has agreed to introduce our speakers this evening and our event, and to make sure to ask the questions and to moderate. So without further ado, Mishka.
Well, thank you, Rabbi Spitzer, for your words of introduction, your teaching, and your compliments. I appreciate that. And I want to welcome everybody to this panel discussion, this section of our honoring what is being called the Highest Refugee Shabbat. Even though Highest itself is not involved in this particular program and this work right now here in this area, I want to say the Highest stands for the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, and it's been a leader in helping refugees since 1881, when it was founded in New York City, and it has been helping Jewish refugees since until the 1980s, or through the 1980s. Now Highest is helping refugees worldwide, escaping persecution and helping make new lives in safety. But now locally, the welcome that's first made to refugees is by the USCRI, the federal government's U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigration. When refugees arrive, they are met by volunteers to help them resettle for their first 90 days. They help with housing, employment, interpreting, health, social service, and in our region, legal services. After this period, of refugees may find themselves using other resources, family and friends, but often they found local organizations to help them, and RISE is one of them. RISE is the Refugee and Immigrant Support Services of Emmaus, which is the largest such refugee support service in Albany, and which is branching out to include Schenectady, and doing that in part with the help of Congregation Agudat Achim. RIDES provides the support services that listed above, but on a longer term basis, and it raises money to support a staff and volunteers to do that. Its biggest service is in professional adult language education. To help us put a human face on this abstract process, we have three panelists. Husniar Meseir is from Baghdad, Iraq, where she taught French at Baghdad University. She is a US citizen and a proud voter. Our second speaker is Luai Mahmoud. He is also from Iraq, but with a very different story to tell. He's an engineer. He's 54 years old and the father of 8. He came to the US in 2014. The war there posed dangers for him and his family, and he too is a proud US citizen. Our third speaker left Ukraine to join her sister just before the war broke out. Sasha Novotska is the mother of 2 young boys. The 3 left Ukraine a week before the war started. All 3 are here, but her husband Yuri had to stay behind as he is taking care of his elderly parents right now. Luckily, we know that they are all safe, as is their family dog, Blakey. So the questions I'm going to ask are simple, but the answers certainly are not. I'm going to ask that you take no more than 10 minutes to answer them, to speak to them. At the end of 9 minutes, I'm going to give you a chime. That'll give you a minute to wrap up, hopefully easily. But we may or may not have time for questions. If anybody has questions, please relay them through the chat, and then I will ask them. So these are the questions. Why did you flee? Why did you leave? 2, how did you make that happen? And 3, how have you and your family adapted to life in the US with the help of whomever, your family, friends, USCRI, with RISE, or any other organizations? So let me first welcome our speaker, Husnia Meseir, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So please unmute. Are we there? No, we're not unmuted.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Yes,
May I read my story?
please.
Yes. My brothers and I have been louder. Yes.
Loud.
Professor voice. Yeah.
Yes, your professor voice.
But my English so. No.
English is fine. Keep
I
going.
must, yeah. My brothers and I have been helping the Americans since 1997 in Iraq. And this made our neighbors look at us with suspicion and discomfort. What helped me to come the USA is my brother's job with Fox News. So he asked the International Organization for Migration to help me seek review here. Now I am working to get my children and grandchildren to come here because the conditions in their country are very difficult. We in the countries of the third world live with injustice, the absence of liberties because of the tyranny of the rules. Therefore, we look to USA as country of freedom and peace. Everyone worked to reach it. And when they were lucky enough to get there, they transferred their cultures, their beautiful traditions, their science, and everything that is good and useful to their new country. With the help of many loyal Americans to make the immigrants good people to serve the USA. These include USCRI and RISE, our lovely school with its employees. We see now a great number of immigrants working as doctors in all hospitals in the USA, smart engineers, employees in all walks of life, and the volunteered the army to defend their new homeland. We hope the American people will understand that we are part of them and we will sacrifice our lives to make USA great and continue. And our children will be a great future for USA, for their intelligence and their love for their new country. I hope everything good for our new country. Thank you. Is it enough? This my story.
You did
There
very
are-
well. I do have a question for the first question. How did you leave? What was your route? What did you do?
Because
How did you go
Yeah.
go from
from Iraq to the United States?
IOM help us to make everything for us and
Oh,
give
what-
us the IOM.
What is that?
What is that?
IOM.
IOM.
It's an organization that
No,
helps
yes.
International?
international
Mhm.
International organization.
International Organization for
Immigrants.
Migration. Yeah. This help us. No one come here without them,
Mhm.
without help of them.
Did you have to apply to them? Or did somehow
Apply.
they knew you were in danger because of the
Because my brother work with the Fox News
Mhm.
10 years, and I have the law to come America
Yeah,
because my brother's work.
yeah.
He asked to help me to come here.
Hmm.
Mhm. And
So he was already here,
who? My brother?
your brother?
No,
No, he
He-
was still in Iraq.
in Iraq. He stayed in Iraq. Mhm. But we live there with suspension of the neighbor and hate of them. Look at our look at me and my family.
Mhm.
How did you, who got you to come to the Americans to get permission to come here? How did that go?
That
work?
was going to be a
That's-
minute.
Yeah, that through the USCRI help
Okay.
us to come here and prepare everything for us.
When did you come?
July 7, 2014.
I think it's Pearl
Okay.
Harbor.
Mhm.
Works for Fox.
So a while ago. Did you have then help from the USCRI and or RISE or other organizations when you got here?
Yeah.
What was the help you got?
Get the language
Language, yeah.
first, and
First.
prepare everything for live here peaceful.
Did
And
they
good-
help with your
Yeah.
finding a housing and?
Yeah,
that thing?
house and food and food stamp and everything.
And how did you feel then? Were you feeling welcome to be here?
Yeah, I'm grateful.
You sounded,
Mhm.
very much sounded.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
Does anybody have any questions out there? Please let me know. I'll be happy to transfer them or whatever you say to get them to you. So if that's it for the moment, let's stop. And I was going to ask Luai to be next, but I don't see him on the screen.
He's having a freezing problem.
Oh,
He's working on it. So
Okay.
I think if we could go to Sasha.
yeah,
Stephen
Sasha,
is in
would you-
touch with
would
Luai
you
now.
take your turn then early? You need to unmute. Okay. Little bit still. She disappeared.
I think she went to get some help.
Yes. Ah, it worked. It worked. Welcome. Welcome. I'm not hearing you though. Can you turn up? No, I'm not. Volume. The wonders of Zoom. The wonders of Zoom. Tech support. Now you're muted, as it seems to me. I think we're rebooting, perhaps.
That's my guess, Mishka.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible the microphone isn't turned on, even though she's not muted. I don't know, that can happen sometimes.
Ah, that's a promising
It's
sound.
showing up.
How about now?
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, there she is. Have fun. Sorry. Hello.
Welcome,
Hello.
Sasha.
Hello. I tell you my story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wrote a little bit. Yeah. I came to United States a week before Russia invaded in Ukraine on Tuesday, February 10. My sister Masha, who live right here in Albany, texted me saying that she would like for me to pack the boys, my two boys, and to come to stay with her. It was so first thing I read on my phone when I woke up on Friday, February 11. She said she kept hearing about imminent, yes,
Yes.
Russian attack and was getting really worried. I'm not a very political person. I knew who our president and but it was it. Our dad worked in politics when I was teenager. And it was one of the most stressful time of my life. Masha, on the other hand, loves politics. So when I heard her telling me to get out, had to listen. In Ukraine, I used to work in a coffee shop. It was a bakery. The place was always filled with people laughing and having a good time. But then little by little, the mood was changing. I started hearing and more about the possible invasion. Still, nobody believed it was possible, but my sister did. Yeah, a day before, she told me to pack my bags. An old friend, no, sorry, still nobody believed, but my sister, yes. A day before, she told me to pack my bags. An old friend, Nihat, called her. Nihat and his family are refugees from Iraq. Yeah, so he called my sister and said, Miss Masha, you have to get your sister out. Masha told him that yes, she was concerned, but then went on asking about his wife and kids. He interrupted her and said again, Miss Masha, you have to get your sister out. She says that the urgency in his voice made her very worried. She talked to her husband the same day. She talked to a few friends. Nobody knew anything for sure, but everybody was hearing the same thing. The invasion was imminent. So my sister made a decision and bought us 3 tickets in a plane for me and my 2 boys, 2 sons. Better safe than sorry, she said. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took exactly 4 days between her talking to Nihat and us leaving Ukraine. She spent 2 days chasing descent tickets. On February 14, Valentine's Day, we went to Vienna first. It was 16 hours later, but it was nighttime, so the kids slept in the plastic airport seats, covered with their coats, using backpacks like a pillow. I could not sleep. Everything happened so fast, it was surreal. Nobody could believe that the war was happening. I can believe. Oh, first week in the United States were cold and dark. My kids never heard a siren or explosions, but a lot of their classmates did, and did their father and all my friends. He had to stay behind taking care of his parents and their family and our family dog. They are in a safe place now, but my kids miss their dad and, our dog. They will hopefully come here someday too. Kids go to school now. They get anxious and stressed, but overall they're doing great. I'm waiting to apply for my refugee status and be able to get a job, of course. The support from the community has been overwhelming. People donate money, clothes, and Masha friends also donated her old car to me. I have never owned a car before. Now at least I have to worry about that. I'm very grateful to everybody. I hope the war will end soon. My beautiful country did not do anything wrong. One thing we wanted is to have a chance at a normal life, to be independent and successful. One of the recent memes is one of my favorite now. It says, slaves came to liberate free people. And it's true. Ukraine is a free, independent nation. Ukrainian are free, independent people. Before the war, only we know it. Now the people of the world do too. We will rebuild Ukraine, and it will be a true European country. I know we will, hopefully so. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I could hear some emotional difficulty in your story. So I really am very grateful that you would share it as you did. A couple of questions, some from me and some from other people. First, how are your kids handling this? And how old are they? And how are they handling it?
Older, almost 12, and younger 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that they slept, you did not on the way, but
Oh, yeah.
how are they understanding what happened?
I can believe it very hard to believe. When I sit and fly, and I hope war never, we've been no war. We just thinking it's not happened. Yeah. And but this happened.
Yeah. Are you able to be in touch with your husband?
my husband in Ukraine. Yeah, when I
Yeah,
follow
you
every
can
day,
talk
of
on the
course.
phone or
Of
text.
course, yeah, every day with boys, how you school boys, of course.
Mhm, mhm. Where did you live, or where did they live in Ukraine?
In Kiev,
In Kiev.
yeah, in Kiev. Yeah,
So you've been following the story of how Kiev has been approached and then the Russians have retreated, at least for now.
Mhm.
What have your family seen of the situation?
Now it's horrible. All
Oh,
my all my friends
yeah,
leave Kiev when go out from Kiev, from Kiev, and some friends leave Ukraine and some in Europe, and Poland, and Spain. Yeah,
Spain.
because just woman and mama and babies and kids, because men can't leave, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to get whatever papers you needed to get here? You said your sister had the plane tickets.
Mhm.
How did she manage, or did you manage, or both of you?
Yeah, me
manage
and
getting
Masha
here?
manage our status. We wait our refugees documents. Yeah, some
Yeah.
yeah. We wait now, but we hope soon we have it.
So where are you living now?
In Masha house,
And
near
that is-
Albany, Delmar.
Are you going to be able to get your own housing, or do you want to stay with your
Oh.
sister?
I hope soon, but now we stay in a sister, of course.
And what about your children in school? How is that working?
Oh, school is very great, and my boys very, very happy. I stressful more than my boys about school.
Okay, how is their English? Yours is very good. How is theirs?
It's not very good, but thank you. It's just school in Ukraine when I was young.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
your boys
so,
as well then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Boys, boys teaching English in the sixth when in first class in school.
It's what's, I'm sorry?
When go to school, first class, and we learn English.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's very good. So did you have any, or have you had any interactions yet with either USCRI or RISE? Oh, I lost your
I call
sound.
my sister.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear all that.
I don't understand your question. Maybe I call my sister.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sure.
1 second, please.
that would be fine.
Переводчик.
Anybody have questions, please? Chat me.
Yes. Masha, help me.
Hello, Masha. My question had to do with whether Sasha and or children had to deal with the USCRI or RISE and how that has gone. What's the
Well,
situation?
not yet. You know, we have been mostly focusing on enrolling kids in school, and you know, and we're waiting for the TPS to be, federal notice has to be, published so we can file for that. So we are taking our time, but and it's been traumatic and stressful. So we are
Yes.
taking, one step at a time, trying to stay strong.
Yeah, well, I'm fielding a question from somebody. Masha, why did you come and when?
Well, I came, would be 20 years this summer, actually. 20 years
Oh.
ago, I came here. I came for grad school,
I see.
and I met my husband, and now we have kids. And I met Stephen and Stephanie back then too, when I was graduating from my graduate program, and here we are.
Great. Okay, that's
I've
very
been
good.
proud citizens for the last 8 years, and happy resident of the Capital District as well.
Okay, very good. So Sasha, how does your knowledge of America compared to your experience now that you're here? From what maybe your sister has been saying over the time you're here, 6 weeks?
Well, go ahead. Ну, она спросила, насколько знание Америки, то, что предполагал когда-нибудь раньше.
Oh.
Ты просто скажи, что здесь была.
Yeah, thank you. I've been a couple of 3 or 4.
They've been visiting since, I've been here. So they know America pretty well,
Okay.
and, so, I mean, it's a different situation, I guess, when you have to go start driving a car, going to the bank and, talking to kids, teachers, and going to the all kind of officials, to try to, figure out how culturally and, bureaucratically we can, get them used to the system a little bit. But, I think
So this was not a
Sorry.
totally new experience to arrive in the United States.
sorry. It was some new, some old, right? Experiences right now. Еще раз. Опыт, как это новый, всё это щас.
Oh yeah, now it's a new experience because now I'm not on a vacation.
Yeah,
Now it's not a vacation. It's I recognize, and this is life, hard life, because everyday news so hard, but we're still strong, and this is a life.
you are very lucky that you have your sister
Oh yeah,
and,
thank you.
and your sister who pulled you across pulled you across the half the world to bring you and your children here for safety, and clearly looking at the two of you, a lot of love. It's very, very cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Stephanie, you look like you have a question or a comment. You have to unmute.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have to,
Okay.
You're excused.
just a second.
I was just
There you are.
commenting and telling Husnia that Louay's computer froze.
Oh,
She was
no.
asking because they know each other, so.
Ah, okay. So let me ask then if either of you have any comments to make as we seem to have come to a close. I've gotten a real good sense from both Husnia and Sasha about their experience. Is there something you want to say, either of you, both of you?
You want to say anything
Okay,
else?
Husnia.
I hope
Loud.
I hold my children with me to see the beautiful country and the peaceful and live in a
Hear you.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have a good chance because your children with you. That
Yeah,
is
of course.
everything for every mom.
And
Yes.
yeah.
Every mom.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes.
Well, my parents were also refugees, though 80 years ago, and they came before they were together, so their children were not involved until I came along. But I understand as a mother how hard it would be, or it is.
And I have 7 grandchildren. I have only me and my husband.
So here's a question that somebody just asked. What do you think is important in ways we can help new refugees? What do you think we need to be doing?
In your project, what should they do to help new refugees?
Roger?
The synagogue is.
Okay,
working
Sasha, in the
with
meantime,
refugees.
what should we as Americans be doing to help you and to help other refugees?
Until now, we are good with your help.
That was the timer.
They do the best for us to prepare us to serve USA. And we are comfort to be here and very happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are grateful, appreciate to everyone give us good and help us to live in a good life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sasha, you're shaking your head.
Can your sister help me?
I know the support has been overwhelming here, you know, with the financial and all kind of little things, people chipping in and offering food and clothes. And I think she talked about getting a car. So it's been really wonderful. We are really lucky, so lucky that we have a community that helps, you know. So far it's been really well. The school enrolled kids super quick. So they're wonderful here in Bethlehem. So yeah, we are very grateful. I just do not know any other place in the world probably that helps people as we do here, you know.
Thank you for
But
saying
we'll let you know if anything else comes up.
Well, is there something that otherwise could be done that's not being done that you can think of?
I cannot say for now. No.
Okay. So here's another. Is there something about being a new refugee that we as Americans may not understand what the experience is? It's a hard question.
Как вы думаете, что американцы не понимают о том, что такое быть, ну, refugee? Что, как ты думаешь, по-твоему, не могут понять?
Oh, it's a hard question.
You know.
Sorry, it's need more time for thinking about that.
Okay. Well, I have to say thank you to you both. I don't know that what Luai might have been able to add to the panel. So it's very sad that he's not been able to get to us. But I really want to thank the two of you for being so honest, so clear, so emotionally honest with your experience, because I from my knowledge of what happened 80 years ago with my family, it was also a very emotional kind of thing. And to hear it from you was a very, I'm very grateful for that. And I think we all are here as well. So I'm going to say goodnight at this point, because I think we are at the point where that makes some sense to do. As you heard, my alarm went off. So let me say goodnight for everybody. Please be well, have wonderful holidays, however, Ramadan, Easter, and for all of those in the Jewish background right now, Passover. So you're all to be blessed. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.